Howdy, I'm Jace and I'm a sex addict. Each week I come on and answer questions about my life as an addict or a person in recovery, or things just relating to healthy sexuality, healthy relationships, healthy living, now that I have begun an adventure on that path as well. Dig in the question that came in this week. I'm super happy to answer questions about addiction and what that looks like and all of those things. And I think that there's a lot of misunderstandings around what sex addiction is. And I'm happy to share my experience on that. But I really love when people send in questions about recovery, because my life as a person in recovery is way more exciting than my life as a person as an addict. I think a lot of people think that, like, ooh, a sex addict, like it's, all these like cool parties and like it's this like exciting life, but it was a shitty life, uh, full of a lot of harm and stress and lies and manipulation and just being an asshole. So my life in recovery is full and it is vibrant and it's sensual and it's amazing. So I love when people send in questions about recovery, because I'm way more excited about recovery than I am about addiction. But send them all in. Okay, so the question was, what are some of the things that I attribute my success to in recovery? I've been in recovery for almost 3 years now. Not a ton of time, but I'm on my way. And I have over 2 years of sobriety as well within this program. So honestly, there are so many things, but I think the things that have helped in my success, not only in my recovery from addiction, but also in my path to achievement and success outside of recovery, and just a person who's trying to be holistically healthy and actually grow as a person and grow in what I have available to me as a person, which goes far beyond addiction and recovery. And those things for me have really been prayer and meditation. I think prayer comes in as many different forms as there are people on the planet. I know some folks who literally get to their knees in the morning and at night and they pray. I know others who have very ritualistic prayers, or they pray from specific scripts. I do my prayer more like an ongoing conversation with a higher power. I don't know what that higher power is exactly. Sometimes I'll call it God. I've gotten over my anger with the word and the idea of God, but sometimes I'll call it higher power, creator, higher being, the universe. I mean, I don't think the label matters, but for me, it just is something that lets me know, like, I am always protected and provided for. Someone's always got my back, even if I don't understand exactly how that is happening or what that looks like. There's someone there, and that I'm not responsible for everything. I can't possibly be responsible for everything just as one tiny human. Can't do it. So for me, that prayer is just that ongoing dialogue of, checking in, talking things through. And even if there's nothing, like maybe I'm talking to absolutely nothing, but I am actually verbalizing the things going on within me, and it actually helps me work it out and hear things. I do a lot of my praying out loud, but even when I'm just doing it mentally, it like helps me run through things and really like set things. So I think prayer is super important. It's just like, oh my gosh, it feels super good. And the flip side of prayer, they say prayer is talking to, a higher power, and meditation is listening. And I think that's really true, because it's really hard to hear anything in my regular life because I'm busy and I got a lot going on, and there's, things coming at me from every direction, and all, screen time, and my phone's blowing up, and I got emails, and I have all of this stuff hitting me all of the time, and it's really hard to listen when that's going on, and it's going on pretty much every waking hour. So meditation for me is that set aside time where I'm quiet and I am open to hearing whatever is coming up. And I meditate in different ways. There's a million and more. I don't even know how many different ways there are to meditate, and I've been experimenting with a lot of them. And that's what I would definitely recommend if anyone's interested in meditation. It's not just this, I had it in my head that it was, the sitting still and your mind being completely clear and no thoughts going through. But that's not meditation at all. That was a huge misunderstanding that I had about meditation, and it can look about as different as prayer can as anybody on the planet. So yeah, I do moving meditation where I'm actually doing physical things while meditating. I do seated meditation. I do chakra meditations. I do guided meditations. I do Vipassana meditation. I'll do, just sitting in nature and listening to what's going on there. I do all sorts of different ones. I'm just kind of experimenting with it. I used to really struggle to do even like 1 minute of meditation. Like sitting still for a minute was impossible. And then 5 minutes and 10 minutes. And now, if I have the time, I can meditate for hours and sit still for that period of time. And, and my mind's not blank. And your mind isn't supposed to be blank. And so, it can look like 100 different things, but they also have done studies and done work around meditation actually changes the stuff going on in your mind. It changes the way that your mind works. It's super fascinating. If I were to give up everything else that I have gained in recovery and through all of the other work that I'm doing just to be a healthy person, meditation is the one thing I would fight to the death to keep in my life. I think it's the most important part of my day, and it doesn't really matter what it looks like for me. It can switch up, but it's just that quiet time that I dedicate to myself and my higher power, and just keeping that connection open. That way, when I ask questions in prayer, I'm able to receive answers in meditation, or just hear things coming up, or it just is very relaxing. There's visual meditations that you can do that are really lovely. I mean, there's tons of apps now too. Like, I mean, if you're interested, Google meditation and just keep trying things until it works for you, and recognize you don't got to nail it that first time. If you can do 30 seconds in your day where you just focus on your breathing, you're going to feel better. I guarantee it. 30 seconds. I'm not kidding. Like a minute. I mean, just take time and like really focus on your breath. Come into your body, come into your present moment. That's what meditation is really about, is being in the present and only focusing on the things that are here right now. And you'll be shocked, as I was, on how much anxiety is eradicated just from taking a few minutes to sit and breathe and be present. So those are the things that there's so many, but my prayer and meditation are things I do not give up. They are part of my day every single day. Might look a little different every day, but they're always part of my day. And I would be nowhere if I was not doing my prayer and meditation, not just in recovery, but in life. I have grown so much into this person who I really love. And I went from genuinely like wanting to tear my skin off, hoping that I couldn't, it would have some effect on me being part of myself. Like I hated myself so much. I didn't want anything to do with who I was. And now I love myself. Like I love all of the things, and they aren't perfect in the way that I thought that they could be, because that's silly. And, but man, that has come from a lot. But my prayer and meditation is a big part of why I have a calm and joyous life. And I certainly wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. So awesome question. Thank you so much for sending that in. Please feel welcome to send in any questions you like, whether it's about recovery or my addiction or anything you can think of. If it has to do with my experience, I'm happy to share it. So you can do that through my website, suddenlycelibate.com. And until then, stay curious.